Okay. Alright. Thank you for the follow, Shrapnel. Alright. I guess I'll do you first, Shrapnel. Which game do you want me to review? You versed a couple of people. There's Azerothian, Water Source, Cargo, you know. Let me see if I got a new one. Azerothian? Okay, cool. Very nice. Oh, so before I start, is there anything you want me to like explain or you want advice with, like anything specific, or anything you want me to like keep in mind while I look at this? Blitzshield isn't important, honestly. Okay, okay. So I'm not that's the wrong one. I'm not a master at yes. I'm not yeah. I don't have like the best I'm not like super good at how to put this. I'm not like extremely knowledgeable in Alpha Loki. I can tell you some things that I've known. Most of the times, what you would either be doing, what you would probably want to do is looking at top Alpha players, if you know who those are in Japan, because there's lots of VODs of them, and you could see how they do Oki. Or you could just ask and see how they do Oki in the Discord. If there's any resources on that. Alright, I can give you some idea of what you want to do. Alright, so first of all, I will tell you two things. Alright, I'll do Diesel afterwards. The first thing I would mention, or there's two things I noticed that you do way too often that you really need to stop. The first thing is every time you jump backwards, this music's loud. Oh, not that quiet. Every time you jump backwards, or you jump in general, mostly backwards, you always air dash forwards, and that's just too obvious. I'll tell you right now, like that's way too obvious. That's way too easy sources of damage. You don't want to do that. You can't make it that obvious. And there's other ways for you to get in, anyways. And the second thing is, you don't really. Every time you use 2H, this leads into a bunch of things. But every time you use 2H, you go into 5D way too often, and that's just. It should be rare. Like they just keep blocking 5D, and I don't know how punishable 5D is. It could be like actually punishable, and then that'll be even worse. I say, yeah, it is. So I could block it. I could instant block it and punish it way too easily. So it's even worse. Yeah. Because you know about the strength of 2H and 6H, yeah? The strength with them is this. They have their own strengths, but this is one of the best strengths. This. The frame advantage from pulling out Pineberry and Shotgun. Like, look at this. This is a Shotgun cancel. If you do 6H in a Shotgun, you're plus. 2H in a Shotgun, you're plus. That's very important. Even doing 6H in a nade, like, even these is like not bad, because pulling out a nade and being able to continue pressure if they don't react in time is still very, very good. Yeah, alright. So, not too knowledgeable in the Axel matchup here for an Elfelt, but you got him locked down. Yeah, I like the fact that you go to 2D here. First of all, you go to 2D is... I feel like you've just ended pressure as soon as you go into 2D. You could jump cancel it to jump back and be safe, but you could have, you could have gone 2H in a Shotgun pressure. Well, so you kind of auto-piloted this whole string. So you jump in here, you go into 2S. What's 2S have? This is my 10, so it's quite nice. You do need to cancel it. So you can go into 2H. Other probably things you can go into. Like you could probably have frame trap here. You could have gone into Fire S instead, and you'd be -4, but you'd be at a good range to counter poke him. Like 2S is okay in a string, but it's more like a poke. In my opinion, Fire S is a lot better because it's safer. You can frame trap with it better. It's also better. Yeah, I use it more as a poke than a string to us. Let's just hit low. Is it low? No, it's a mid as well. I don't know. Big Fire S will be a little bit better then. Then if I look at Gatlings. Did anything pull off to us? No, not really. Yeah. Like 2S should be like a counter poke. It shouldn't be a block string for you. Because if you do 2S, you've got to kind of go into a special, you know? Or you got a Gatling at a 2H, or you got to go into a special. It's just like, you know. As you jump backwards, then you air dash forwards, and that's already like a huge tell. If you jump backwards, unless you have like some really good way of controlling or something, you are probably in a dangerous zone. Because it should be very easy for him to anti-air you as soon as you jump backwards like that. He shouldn't let you back in as soon as you do this. Like he just 6Ks you or something. We get 2S. He did kind of move around, but it's still not safe to do stuff like that. That should be a punish. Obviously, a better punish would be to dash up, close slash, fast slash, you know, all that. But you just look at a 2D punch, it's cool. How does that work? Alright. I'm gonna just show you, I'm gonna just muck around and show you some things with Elfelt, whoever she is.
Media Castle War Room. Elfelt versus Axel. Get ready to rock.
Yeah. Alright, so you got your knockdown here. Let's just say you do this something. Yeah, if you do full nade, you're probably gonna have to do something like this. could do something like this. Okay, so you could do something like that. Rev in the corner. Okay, let's just do other missing stuff. Okay, so you can do stuff like that. Okay, meaty. What about this? Yeah, you should pretty easily be able to. Okay. So if you don't have time, let's just say you're in the corner probably. Do this. Yes, he would be terrible though. Anyways, if you do have an A, like, because I do know sometimes in situations where you don't have time to, you know, get a knockdown and do a median aid, or in this situation you're probably too close. Maybe you should do that instead. Might be a little bit better. Get them knocked down with an aid. If you don't have time, what you can do is just something simple. Like you can go, you know, you can go, you can pull out an aid. And then you can extend pressure like that. You don't actually have, like, you don't. I don't know how many safe jumps you'd have while pulling out an aid. Like maybe you could maybe do something like this. I don't think you'd have time. Unless you super jump. Even then I wouldn't do that. But if you don't have time, you can pull out an aid, go up, start pressure, and you have a nade. Now get them locked down. Oh, the concept of it or how to do it? If you want me to explain safe jumping super quick, I'll do it this way. Let me get out my tool.
Get ready to rock.
Six, 2, 3, H. Alright. Alright, so every time I knock him down, he's going to do reversal. So, the way it works, if I do this, I'm blocking time, yeah? So what I'm doing is I'm just holding back if I'm jumping S. The way it works is if I jump in, there's a brief frames of hit stun. So you know, like I can kind of react to him being hit, so I can combo afterwards and all that. Thing is though, if he's invul, then I don't get this. I'm not in the air anymore, and I'm landed fast. Like. So this is what happens. Okay, so imagine this. This is what happens if he's hit. This is what happens if he just takes it. If he blocks it, it's that, just that. And this is what's gonna happen if he does the DP. Imagine him as this line thing. Literally, that's what's gonna happen. Because I can't hit him, because he's invincible, I'm gonna be falling faster. There's not gonna be any hit stun frames. There's not gonna be anything like that. So that the way it works is he has startup and he has invulnerable frames during that startup. So I'm gonna fall through him, and I'm not gonna be able to hit him. And I'm gonna land on the ground first before his DP becomes active. If I mistime it, if I mistime it, then I haven't landed yet. It wasn't meaty enough. It's like a proper meaty. So if I turn this off, I'll show the timing. What's just gonna happen normally? Just gonna get hit. If I turn it on, time will be better. How about I do this way? Do more slots. No. How about I do this? Yeah. So you're gonna have to time it because it needs to be meaty enough. That's what it's gonna look like with it off. It's really meaty. That's a bit too late. I think that one. Some are super slow. Some DPs are super slow and they're super easy to safe jump. The fastest DPs in the game are Chips and Souls. Those two are the fastest. Anything after that, like Kai is super easy. Like, let me just get Kai in here. Kai is really easy.
Get ready to rock.
Yeah, Chip fast, Soul fast. I think Chip's super faster actually. No, they're both the same. See that? Insanely easy. I could delay it a little bit. It's so slow. Most other characters are really like they have like 9 or so frames. Yeah, it's air unblockable. The mix-up with Soul is when he does this, it's not a proper mix-up, but it's just something. When they do this, I do a gun claim, and you'll be there blocking. You don't want to stand there to take anything. Or if you want to punish the gun claim, you would IAD forward. So what he can do is he can catch you with that. Catch you trying to jump. I mean, it's a sort of mix-up. It's not a proper mix-up. But yeah, we'll catch you trying to jump. Unfortunately, it's very negative. It can be quite negative. So what you would do against it is you would anti-air it with a 6B if you have a good 6B. I don't know. Alpha is the only character without a proper 6B. I don't know what she would do against it. Alright, so
Alpha versus Axel. Get ready to rock.
Yeah, close slash isn't reliable. Look at the range in this. Like this, it's going to fast slash here. That feels unreliable. All right. So if you do want to blitz, because I do think Fairy's right in that close slash is a bit of an unreliable anti-air. Let's just say that they're over there, and they IAD at you. Oop. Yeah, let's record this actually. You can't close slash that, but let's just say Something like that. It's a bit unreliable, eh? So you can just blitz it. So that's one thing. Against some really dominant anti-airs and against some disjointy anti-airs, or just situations where you don't feel like you can trap. Like, let's just say you're doing something like this. You can trap like that, yeah? You keep trapping him like this. So let's just run for this. Just trap him. But if you're not doing a close, like if you have to do, like, let's just put it on a more annoying character, like May.
Versus May. Get ready to roll.
I guess like not good jump ins or jump ins where you can anti-air a lot easier. Let's try this. Something like that. It's gonna be kind of annoying to anti-air this. See that? It's very dominant. You have to time it quite right. And unfortunately, sometimes your time is not always going to be there, so you're going to have situations like this. So what you can do is you could just something like that. Very simple. So for some characters like Eno or Elfelt, or just characters that don't have like a good reliable, super reliable, they might have a good anti-air, but it's not reliable in every situation. And they can just use blitz, you know.
Versus Axel. Get ready to roll.
Also, I think Leo Jump K is also really annoying to anti-air. Anyways, alright. So you got Oki. So I'll talk about two things with mix-ups on Oki. So your whole thing is with frame trapping, yeah. Like you have long pokes. Let's say you do stuff like this. You don't obviously want to keep going because this is what you were doing. You're doing a lot of this. But you're doing this. Doing that a lot. I think there's a couple of things you can do. First of all, you can just do this. You can do, you know, that's pretty good. Do that. Go for a throw. Look, no one ever does this. I know it's not Street Fighter or anything, but it's still pretty good. You can also frame trap like this. Let's just say they're trying to poke out of this. Get him in with that. Okay, stuff like that. So it's already like a layer 1 you've got there with 5k. 2p. And you've got flow slash. From that you can frame trap. Like you don't have to go back in with. You don't have to do this. You can just do that. Maybe not close. Flow slash is a bit risky as a normal because it's a bit more minus. But thing is, if they do mash, then this will catch them. This frame trap will happen. So the 2H will happen, and you get big damage off the 2H. Then you got the Fire S. The Fire S is good because you can do it here, and you can do it a second time to catch mashing. And it'll be counter hit, so you'll be able to combo off it. You know, so there's good stuff there. Other things. So 6H, you can do this. Like if you're neutral, you can just go, whoop, go nade, or I'm plus now. Gonna block everything actually. Yeah, stuff like that. But you can do it with 2H. Oh, you can even do it like this. It's a really it's a really long cancel window. That's really nice. It's a really good frame trap tool. So you have really good frame trapping tools. At any point you can just, you know, just like It's a bit harder stuff, but I probably wouldn't do this. I'd probably frame trap a bit more. Or do something like that. So I've got the 2H, I got a 2H into that, I got 6H into this, I can go into Pine Bear as well. It's a bit more honest, but if they don't stop me, like let's just say I'm doing this block string, yeah? And they're scared of me doing 2D or jump cancelling or something. Do that, go into shotgun stance, or I can pull out nade. And I'll be -1, but it'll be very hard for them to punish me. Now I continue pressure because the nade exploded, so I have a nade stocked. You know, so there's a lot of stuff like that. So you gotta open up your options. Look at all your normals, see how minus they are, because you don't have to always block string. Block string is nice if you just want to frame trap, you know, or if you want to build some meat and all that. But what's to say that you, because that's the mix-up. Maybe you want to, you know, go for a throw or reset, you know, frame trap. If they're scared, it's like, oh, here comes a big counter hit. I'll show you two other things. First of all, I want to show a combo extension, a simple combo extension. So you do all this business. You can be from that, you can be into 2D, you can be into be like that. Anyways, what you do. I'm not a master at this combo, honestly, so bear with me. I also have barely done it, so I just remember. Something like that, yeah? It's something similar to that. I'm not gonna try to do it too much. Then you undo it, and then you relaunch or something like that. But yeah, you can. It's very easy to get extensions from Bridle. And continue combos with that. The other thing I want to talk about is your big counter hit buttons. Like, you have a lot of good counter hit buttons. So you have this. So in this counter hits, you know, you can really delay. So let's say the first one gets blocked, and then you do the second one that counter hits. You can do stuff off that. And also when it counter hits, you can go into 2H, and you can really delay it. You got stuff going there. Then you got a counter hit. You have the 2H counter hit reward. Stuff like that. And a 6H. 6H counter hit reward depends on what you did. Because you could do something like this. If you went to shotgun stance, Maybe do something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Yep. Or you do something with the pine. Something like that, and that's big damage. Yeah, it's good damage. Look at that. Probably better ways to make it optimal. But yeah. So you have really good confirms 2H. There's a better one you wrote over that. You have the 2H, you have a Fire S, you have 6H. Also, one other trick I might as well mention. I don't think you're gonna get it for a while, but it's jump DYRC. Pretty good trick. Anyways, so I've explained some extensions, some counter combos. Do you have any questions about that? Alright, so Oki. So at any point you can, at most points you can go into something like this, yeah? Like Alpha's good because you can go into something like this, the 6p. So if you do have a nade, if you have a nade on the ground, let's say you have a nade on the ground, and you shoot it with a shotgun, it immediately detonates, yeah? So, put it on the ground, immediately detonates, yeah? So what happens when it's on the ground? You do something like that. You detonate it immediately with a shotgun shot. And that lets you get a combo. Or you could do stuff like this. Wait a sec. Alright, I'm back, sorry. So yeah, you could do something like this. I think it's a bit harder though. Wait a sec. Oh, that's something of like jump cancel. There we go. Okay, so that will lead to good damage as well. So you can mix up with like this. So I don't know, because I do see Fairy like he likes to do stuff. I don't know if it's good, but like that. He does stuff like this. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but he does that. So, anyways, so yeah. Put simply, you mix. Also, you're approaching. So when you have a nade out here, you throw a nade and you can just follow it. He can't be in the air. You're really good on the ground because you've got 5S, you've got 6H, and both of these can be cancelled into stuff like shotgun. 2H can be cancelled shotgun. The nade covers you, and if you throw the nade properly, you can do stuff like this where you throw the nade. And the nade follows up for you, stuff like that. You do stuff like that. But yeah, you can definitely cover yourself doing stuff. So that's to say they block all this. You can do stuff like this. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. Go for a throw. So yeah. So in short, for mix-ups, if you have a nade cooking, you can just do that. Do stuff like that. Going overhead there. I'm getting him to block again. But not block. Yeah, you can do stuff like that off the 6B. You can just go like that. You know, so you got stuff like that going on. If you have the nade cooking, because if you do get a knockdown and you don't have, if you can't like do a meaty nade or something, then you can let it cook. You can do a meaty. You can use that for pressure, and it'll extend pressure and they have to keep blocking, and then you go back in again. If you're doing a block stream, you can do this. That, and you can extend pressure, and they can't, like, you know, be stuff like that, so you can extend pressure a lot. 6H is good, 2H is good. Counter hit. Remember to frame trap a lot. You can dash up and go for throws. Frame trap in those throws. What else? don't know much more I can. Alright. So do you get most of that, or do you want me to explain other stuff, Shrapnel? I feel like you'll understand as you watch more and you get into it and you learn more, but that's just explaining things like you want to be using meter. This is just Elfelt things. Main things, I'll have to look at the VOD to explain some of the general things, but Elfelt things is just like, well, you want to extend pressure. You want to, sometimes if you don't have time to pull out a nade, or if you do get into a nade. Alright. Max so much uptime. Alright. That's good. Got a nade. Got a 5D, so you've done the 5D, so this is all good. You have a nade cooking. You didn't have to be scared, honestly. Like you should have frame trapped him here. He's not got much to, you know. Like you have a nade, he's got to come down. You can close slash him. He can't DP while in the air. He doesn't have any good godlike buttons coming down. So you should have close slashed him or air blitz to him here. He shouldn't be running away either. If he's done that, the nade's gonna kill him. It's fine. It's reliable. But you could have, you know, you could have really like finished him, put the hurt on him, and some more, and killed him. All right. So round start, I do feel like Axel's gonna have an advantage. Yeah. I guess is your button faster? Virus is 9. His virus is 9. Alright. So the main problem is yeah, the main problem with poking Axel round start is you can do stuff like this. It's way too easy for him. You also do stuff like this. It's really easy for him to do stuff like this. And you can't, you know, just get hit, you'll get a knockdown, he gets all his stuff going. But it's really easy for him to kind of get around you. You can also do stuff like, I don't know, it's very easy, it's just very, like there's not many buttons you can do that will get around him without him just parrying it, and it's risky. That's why poking around start can be very risky against an Axel, because of that potential in general. Like he can get a good damage combo off the parry, he can put you into his game, it's kind of risky around start. Also you can probably do stuff like this. can't catch. He can just back off way too easily. Good try it here, but in general, it's just gonna be risky. And if you jump, he's just gonna catch you. It's like something like you can just wait. This. It's really easy for him to react. He just catch you. So that's always gonna be a problem. So yeah, round start, he's probably round start parry characters and characters with good options at longer ranges are going to be quite strong. Alright. So this fast slash isn't really going to lead anything unless you go into 2D. So you just got to mash there and just be careful. It's fine. Alright. After this though, he can't combo anymore after this. So this burst is pointless. It was very delayed and he can't actually combo after that anymore. That's 6H. So this burst is, you know, not good. I'll show you a good burst point afterwards. My recommendation would be to pull out a nade and to cover yourself a lot more. Because he can't, basically he can't, if he's over here, if you're full screen, he can't, you know, it's really hard for him to, he can't just, you know, he wants to rinse him, but he's got to charge it up.
Negative penalty.
And what's more, he can't actually reach, it's really hard for him to reach up the top. He has to dash forward, reach up there. Just maybe micro dash. So what you can do, if you're full screen here, you can just, you know, nade. Now he's got to deal with that. And then you can just dash FD block up. He can't be in the air because the nade's gonna catch him. Like he might try to do this, try to get you to hit or something. You can just FD block that, and he's still gonna deal with the nade. And you'll just be able to slowly work your way in. I'm also not sure, but I do feel like some of your norms can be quite dominating. If he doesn't have Rensen, your normals are gonna be more dominating than his. Like this. Like that. So dominating. Very dominating. Let's see if I can sweep it. Maybe we can go under this. Trade. I'll see. I think you're close. Do stuff like that. Yeah. Basically, your 6H and 2H are very bloody good. Also, you can do stuff like this. Maybe not stuff like that, actually. You could try to do stuff like this. I wouldn't really recommend it though. Maybe like that. Fast slash is a bit better. Because the thing with fast slash is really active, and 6H is really active, so you can do them kind of early. Okay, I'm doing it really early. Look at that. Super early. But if he has Rensen, you're probably not going to beat it. it's not gonna win. And the reason it won't win is because it's a projectile, yeah? Rensen is a projectile, and the way projectiles work in this game is they don't trade. They don't clash, they don't trade. A projectile is gonna win against a non-projectile. So for example, like Eddie, Zato's Eddie, or a fireball or something, if you hit a projectile, it's gonna win. So you can't clash with it, you can't trade with it, you're not gonna, like, it's just gonna win if it's a projectile. So that's why you can't deal with Rensen as a poke. So if he's charged up and he's doing Rensens, you gotta kinda hold that. Also, instant air dashing at him isn't good because of the potential for him to, you know, anti-air you. Let me show you. Like, his greatest damage is from anti-airing. He gets so much damage from anti-airing. And just keep doing it again. Yeah, so he's very good anti-airing damage, so jumping at him is risky. His anti-airs are like also pretty good, and they can catch you jumping. So if you try to do this, you just immediately like, you know, be like, alright, 6k time. It'd be too easy. So I wouldn't recommend jumping too much against an Axel. The only time, if you get a read on him doing like a normal poke, a ground poke, then sure, but the thing is, unless he's doing Rensen, your pokes can sometimes beat his pokes. So in a combination of him not... Okay, so here's the other thing. Another thing to remember is... Okay, so... He can't poke you, yeah? He can't poke you because he'll try to poke you, but the thing is, you'll get so much damage if you land a fast slash or a 6H. And you'll get a knockdown, you'll get in, that's very dangerous for him. So he'll want to do Rensen. And he'll want to sit back. So what do? You just throw one of these. And now you have the ground covered, because he can't sit there for Rensen, because he's got to block. He's got to jump back. He's got to try to move forward. So when he jumps back, he's got this. Like, this is all he's got. So as long as you push him back with that, and you try to avoid it, you'll be fine. It's hard. The problem is it's hard for you to anti-air this. You can try to IID forward. I think that's one thing you can do, something like that. You can try to like fast slash or close slash anti-air. If he's doing something like this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, something like that's going to be way more difficult, and you can get away from nade really easily. You could try and blitz it, but in general, he's just... Him doing instant air dash back, jump S is very hard for you to deal with. So that's the one thing I can't really... Alright, I'll tell you how many we have. We have 162 followers. Alright. Back to the match. Alright. Got Rensened out. You should be pulling out a nade. Okay, so that should have definitely, as soon as you missed that Rensen, especially after they missed that Rensen, after you missed that, you should be pulling a nade out here. Pulling out a nade and chucking it. Then you do an IID forward, and then you did a 2H. You should have cancelled that 2H on counter hit into a nade. Like, you have so much time to confirm that the first hit is counter hit for you to delay cancel the dust. Look how much time you have. Like, you can really... You can super delay this. Now remember, because it's block, like, it's so much time. Like, you can just confirm the second hit into a nade pool, and that'll be so much damage, and that's what you want. Alright. So I pushed that, she did a kind of pseudo mix up there. 2H, 2D, you cross under, you had 2K, you 2S, you 2H. So that 2S could have been to like a 5H or something. Well, you could have confirmed that 2K into a close S, into a far S, 5H, you know, go an actual proper knockdown. But you're kind of like, you're doing your crouching and non-crouching confirms incorrectly. And then when you're here, it's kind of weird because you don't chase him down. Like he has to do something here. He can press a button, but you just kind of chill and then you back off. But you could have pressed the issue a little bit more. Nice. It's good. Pull out nade. It's good. He can't do anything, so you can approach. You're 5D. You could have done more of that, like we were expecting about that. You don't have to always do 5D. Actually, you want to rarely do 5D because it's really easy to react to. Alright, so here you burst. Pull out nade. You land. He rushes forward. He can't Ren-Sen here, so if you do a 6H or a 2H, maybe not, a 6H or a far S or a 2H, he's going to run into it and he's going to counter it for big damage. Yep. So now he has Ren-Sen, and you're being in the air too much. Every time you go in the air, he's just going to hit you with 5 P. That's good. Trying to bulldog in the air is not good, because he could have waited a second and then frame trapped you with a tech trapped you with 2S and brought you back down. And he probably could have thrown that. He could have thrown this. He should have been able to throw this, actually. That shouldn't have happened. He should have thrown that. See, this is good. You dash forward. You throw a nade. He ran forward. You backdash. You backdash the poke, which is good. But now you should be dashing in. Because now he's got the nade to deal with. You can dash in 6 H or something. Should have confirmed off that. 5D, yeah. We already know about that. It's good. Yeah. Try to look at everybody. I mean, it'd be a good idea to look at everybody and see how their moves work and stuff. So knowing's half the battle. That was a good answer. 2S has some weird anti-air properties. Because it reaches up high like that and it's quite active. So it can interrupt stuff like 6H. It can interrupt stuff like this. Wait, it's actually kind of weird. I'll show this. I think this would actually work.
Elfa versus Soul. Get ready to rock. Counter.
Alright, well, there's nothing you can do with that, a 2S. It has decent anti-air properties against lower stuff like that. Alright, so you did that. It's kind of weird. Interrupted that. Then you try IID forward again. Doing the other side. First of all, he could have thrown you here. He should be able to throw you every single time you've done this. Oh, dealing with gunflame is really easy. So gunflame happens. The easiest thing to do is to just IID. Stuff like that. If you're worried about like range, then you can FD him out. If I'm this close. Yeah, that's basically the thing. If you can delay YSC, I guess. You could try to do that to try to follow up on it. And the only other thing you could do is like a random bringer after that instead. But it's quite simple. Just IADing over and punching it is the simplest thing to do. It's like, because Soul, what he'll do, he'll be like, do something like this. That's what you do. And if you want to be like super optimal, you instant block the last hit, which will usually be a 6H or a 5H. No, you just ID over. So generally, you FD them out till they're in the appropriate range for you to be able to punish. And I'm using I'm using jump pick because it's easy to get down on the ground, and she's a pretty good 5P for that. And then if you want to be optimal, you instant block the last hit, because I'll give you more time. And that'll be very good. Alright. So yeah, like I mentioned before, there's so many things you could have done here. Like you could have started with 5k, you could have, you know, could have done for a throw, you could reset your pressure a bit more, but you keep autopiloting it at 2H. Got a nade, he chucks a nade back, you're over the top, that's fine. Let's look at this string. So you got over because he keeps 5ping, but you managed to get lucky there and get over the top. You're in, you got to jump S, jump P, you get close slash, then you do a 5H. It's like you could have from here could have landed, done a 5k instead of a close S, and from the 5k you could have dashed up a bit and did more pressure. You could have frame trapped with the 5k. From the close slash here, you could delay and dash up and do it again, or you could do a delayed far S if he tries to poke and get a big counter hit confirm. So much things you could do here. You could have done far S 2H and then gone from the 2H. You could have gone to shotgun or nade and continued pressure. You could have gone into you could have landed, done a 2P 6P. Like there's so many things I could see you be doing. Look at this. You could, if this is a soul, you could be like, better than this is you. You could have done this. Could have done that. Could have done. Throw. The shotgun. Could do stuff, yeah, you could do stuff like that. Stuff like this. Frame trap with fire ass. with that. Jump jab with that. Right there. That. Look at this stuff. This is so much stuff you could be doing. But unfortunately, all you've been doing is this. Like into that. He's not scared of anything. That just gives you an idea of dash and grab. So there's two ways to do it. There's a normal way. You unfortunately have to. So when you dash, you have to let go of the stick for a second, or whatever you're using, because you can't throw while dashing. So you have to let go for a second. So stop and then throw. So this is what I'm going forward, and then I'm letting go, and I'm doing forward again. Forward. Or you can do a really fast one, which is that, where you FD break. You have to stop dash momentum, and this is like it's pretty fast for a dash break, but you can make it even faster with that. So you can go no, like that. You can go in the other direction. Other direction might be a little bit easier, but you can just do that. Just practice it. It's like dash, stop, dash, let go, and then forward. Because if I let go and I do forward again, she's going to be walking. And because the throw is like frame 1, you don't have to worry too much about, being late in the throw or anything. You can just... It's up to you. Yeah, dash, you can... It's still very effective, and people still very much do it in Exit, but I think you can kind of get away without doing it in Exit. Because you get on your back, it's pretty easy. The only time it's annoying is if you're this close. And you gotta walk up. Because you can't exactly dash and do that. It's really annoying that close. It's not worth the effort, technically. Yeah. Yeah, because you're not delaying the 6H enough. You have to imagine doing this. Imagine going forward, then back forward. And I'm using an arcade stick, so I have to go back forward. That's how fast I do it back forward. So just get used to the timing. The other reason you might not be getting it is because the throw range is too short, but I doubt that'd be the reason why. Another thing you could be doing is you could be doing an accidental dash again. Maybe you're stopping, and then you accidentally do that. See how I did two dashes there? Yeah, stuff like that. Alright. So I'm just gonna try to watch most of this because we're running a bit low on time and I gotta do diesel still. Let me just check something super quick. So yeah, I also wouldn't recommend doing stuff like this. As soon as I see you go up in the air like this, I could just DP you. I can wake up DP you pretty easily. So I wouldn't recommend in general using like the dive kick for L-Felt. You jump back, put that nade, throw a nade. So the other thing with nade is when you throw a nade, it covers the air, so you don't actually need to be in the air because your buttons are really dominant on the ground. So being in the air just gives them an opportunity to dash underneath you. Literally. They just dash underneath you and anti-air you. Because you don't have the strongest buttons in the air, or to anti-air, the nade covers you very well. So it's kind of pointless for you to be in the air yourself. Like, you're much better being on the ground and having the nade cover you in the air. And just having dominant buttons to get back in. Yeah, that was an okay frame trap. You had meter as well, so I think maybe you could have RC'd that. You could have RC'd that and then done a dash in 2H. That might have worked. It would have done good damage. Nade, that's good. I don't think you did a low toss. Low toss is a bit questionable because he could have jumped back here. If he jumps back and does jump S, you can't really get in. But you could just do an IAD jump S forward, like it'd be a little bit annoying for you to get back in. Also, he hasn't really done any DPs, so getting a bit lucky there. Just a nade, chuck. He could have 6-speed that quite easily. That's another thing with the nade. You're giving him way too many opportunities for him to anti-air you, which is an easy way to stop the nade. Like in here, like you get the nade, you chuck the nade, and then you jump backwards, and then you IAD forwards. If he 6Ps this, first of all, he gets about 200, potentially 200 damage, and second of all, the nade's gone. And it's really easy for him to do this. And he's using 5P, but a 6P will just destroy you there. So you wouldn't matter if you dive kicked. Because the other problem is, because you jump backwards and you didn't forward air dash, you can't jump anymore. You can try to dive kick, but it's going to be way too low. That was a good punish. Nade. Once again, you're in the air. If he just continues, if he dashes under like this, he'd just dash under the nade. If he kept a bit further, he'd dash under the nade and he'd anti-air you. Or he'd just jump backwards or something and jump S. He wouldn't be afraid of you. Because you're in the air. Yep, throw him back in the corner. Check the nade. Punish, yep. Yeah, see, he's not afraid of the nade, because you're not on the ground. You jump back like that, he's not afraid. He's gonna catch you, and he's just keep anti-airing you a lot. Your 2H is good. I think he was about to do a Rensen. Yeah, he was about to do a Rensen, so he caught him there, that's good. He could catch you with a 6. Every time you jump back like that, he can catch you with a 6k. Like, this is 6k. He could do 6k, jump P, jump 6p, jump 6k, bomber. And just take a bunch of damage off you. You can do that every time. And he's not afraid of the nade. So the nade, like the nade hit him, yeah, sure. And if you do an IAD forward here, he's just going to anti-air you. Which is the problem. If I go back to Axel, let me do it like this. Let me play Axel. Oh.
Axel versus Elfel.
I'll show you what would happen. Well, if you're going to throw a nade, you can, first of all, you can do stuff like this. You can do stuff like that, and A forward like that, and I'll cover you. This is basically what you're doing. Something like that. First of all, just say I take this. See, I don't actually care about that. It's really easy to just deny it. And also I could just, you know... Just do this. It is so easy to cover. So what you should be doing is this. Now what am I going to do? So, it's so much harder to cover. Imagine. Try this. Like, alright. You can get in so easily. I can't really jump at you because the nade's there. Gonna get by the nade. Only thing I can do is I can jump back. But you can... So this is the problem where it's a bit hard to deal with this because you can IID back. That's the only thing I can't really give you too much advice on. But it gives you space. The only other thing I could do is Rensen. But if, let's just say you block it. Now he's gonna deal with the nade. The nade's there. So then you'd be able to dash in and do stuff. So you see that? See how much better it is for the nade to cover you in the air? You can follow up the nade. If he tries to do something, you'll be able to RC it. You'll be able to FD it. FD break. And the nade will hit him and you'll be able to go in on it. He'll have to deal with the nade, so he can't sit there and do a Rensen. You can go in with a 6P because he can't do a Rensen. I would still not recommend trying to air dash in. You should be taking your ground while the nade's there. In general, the only time you should be instant air dashing is when you're doing something like this. You know, something like this. It won't be bad. You could do some. Maybe you could do something like that, but apart from that, I would try to follow up on the ground instead of the air when you throw a nade. Yeah. Ren sends you. See, the nade hit, and now you've instant air dashed in because you think he's blocking, but he can anti-air you right here. He could 6k you right here. He does its jump S, but he could have done so much more damage. Ren send. Burst. Gonna catch you. Hmm. 6H, yeah. So he's gonna keep catching you. Catch, because you keep jumping here. That was a good start. Yeah. Throw a nade, he just goes underneath, he doesn't care about the nade anymore. You didn't really follow up on the nade. ID over, 2H, 2D. You jump back, you got a 6K that. He's gonna anti-air you here because you're in the air too much. Your best spot, when you're in the air, not good at all. He's gonna be, first of all, he's gonna push you out. Second of all, he's gonna be his turn. Like he'll just pull you back in, and he'll just continue pressure. In general, you want to make him. You just want to kind of deal with the Rensen, like, because here's the thing. Like the Rensen is very active. So if I hit you with the latest part, I'll still be able to recover in time, and because you've FD'd, you'll be just pulled down to the ground, and I continue my pressure. So let me try to show it like this.
Elf versus Axel. Get ready to rock.
See, we both jump at the same time, but he's still in his good territory where he can just DP. It's gonna be a good territory for him. Also, you can't actually FD while you're instant air dashing sometimes. Well, you can't FD, you can't block while air dashing, so gotta wait for it to be over. That's a problem. It's just really good at stopping you, so I wouldn't try to deal with that. And the worst part is, he could just do this. Now you've jumped, you'll just 6k you. If 5p, he'll anti-air you, and he'll bring you back down. So any other time, you can just do that. So I wouldn't call it a good strat. Anyways. I'm really running out of time, so I'm gonna start zooming this, so I can get the diesel. Nade, sniper. Yeah, doing sniper isn't effective, in my opinion. Because you can IAD jump S like that way too easily. If you did an upswing there, he would have killed you. 6A, he should be like all these opportunities. He should be like destroying you with anti-airs and shit. Yep, every time he should be anti-aired. Right in. Now he's just gonna catch you. Doesn't care about the rocket. If he 6P'd you instead of doing a lot of other stuff, he would have caught you. Oh, yeah, that best is gonna go through. Yeah, just call it 6H twice. Yeah. So, honestly, he's not doing the right anti-airs. If he just waited, he'd kill you. But he's being really impatient. Like, he'd just be chilling. Because you've proven so many times that you're just going to anti-air in. Instant air dash in all the time. So if he was actually a bit more patient and used the correct anti-airs, he'd destroy you. Like, easily. Okay, that's big damage. Unfortunately, with axle pressure, he's actually got pretty good. Escaping axle pressure is a bit difficult. Like, because Axel has stuff like this. He has 3P. 3P is a really good normal. He'll do stuff like this. Dash up like that. You have to kind of FD him out a little bit. Because then all he's going to do is going to do stuff like this. So you want to FT him out a bit. If you have a DP, you might want to DP him when he does this. It's really hard for him to anti-air this. The other thing you can do is you can blitz it. You can react to it and blitz it. That's one good option. But yeah, in general, he's just going to be doing a lot of this. Because the reward on that is really good. At any point you can just go into 2H. And then that's when you're fine, because then you can just chill and wait for him to, you know, rinse it, and then you're out. Axel can stun, don't you worry. He does a lot more damage than you think he does. It'll be on the dust loop. It's not that active. "12 frames for standing. And then recovery of, what, 26 frames? It's even worse for crouching. Oof. But yeah. Frames. So you have a good chunk of time, but it's pretty good for stuff like that. The other thing it's good for is this. You can blitz that because it's hard. Unless you instant block, you have to instant block these, or you have to blitz them, or you just have to take them. Because you can do them really often, and they're like +1. And you think, all right, well, why would I be scared of +1? Because you could just, you know, you could do that. You could go in and do a parry. There's a lot of stuff you could do. Like, you can be really risky at that range if he has meter, so you can make himself safe. What? Which move? This is 6H. This is Soul's old 6H. Soul's old 6H is like a big slam thing, but his new one's a tombstone. Wait, I didn't show. Yeah, this is old 6H. His new one's a tombstone. Anyways. He's just gonna catch you. If he whiffs a... By the way, if he whiffs a normal, you can get in. Like, here's one other thing I'll mention. If he does whiff a normal, like, if he whiffs this... Say this. Like, it would be your turn to counter poke. You can't catch him. So you can do stuff like that. Like, use every opportunity for it when he whiffs a button. Like when he whiffs this. Yeah, just dash in. You gotta kind of time it right, unfortunately. Yeah, stuff like that. So you don't want to use opportunities to, you know, move in, especially if you whiff stuff like this. And, you know, get in there. Nade. You got it in there fast. Like, if he was chill, if he didn't Ren Send here, he just anti-AE here. But he keeps doing Ren Send. But you haven't really threatened the ground. Like, you don't really threaten the ground too much. Like, you did it there, but you haven't threatened it too much with big stuff that you should be scared of. Should be anti-air. Yep.
Okay, you should have pulled out a nade after that 2D. I mean, it was a block string, so what can you do? You should probably still pull out a nade and did like normal pressure. Pull out a nade, did a meaty 5k, and then use the nade to later on when it's cooking to throw it to extend pressure. Getting hit by 6H. Unfortunately, when you don't try not to FD the 6H too much, because he becomes very plus, and you can continue pressure like that. Do you want to instant block it and try to get out? Rocket, go to the top. You need that knockdown. Then you just got caught because you jumped again. Rensen's gonna catch. Oh, caught him. Right there. He's got a burst, doesn't burst. P. Could throw this. No, you can't throw that. Voshi's buns are really slow, so he can't actually do much off that. He doesn't know the combo of that. AD jump S. Yeah, you can't really pull out sniper. It's kind of hard if you don't have the nade to cover you, because you can IAD. If you couldn't instant air dash, or if you couldn't get forward and like screw up your aiming, then it would be very hard for you. Because of his instant air dash, you have to go up and over and try to anti-air him. But if he runs forward, it's a lot easier to just catch him before he presses a normal. Instant air dash is very annoying. Instant air dash jump S. So yeah, he's just catching it over and over. Go rocket. I mean, that's cool, but he's just gonna attack. Just gonna catch you with Rensen. Big damage. You could have killed you right there. I'll watch his last round. It'll be kind of fast. And I'll stop afterwards. Good combo. Yeah, so you keep jumping in, and now he's starting to anti-air you. You can see the damage of this. And here's the thing with you, like you're still there. You're in this pressure. Just need to chill. As soon as you block a Rensen, you can do stuff. Look at this. So at that range, you probably could just ID. Depending on range. Like if he's got you cornered here, you can probably get over him. You could like counter poke him. But if he's over like here, then you're out of range and you can do stuff. He can't go forward anymore. But it depends on how close he can get to you to the corner or what. But you can, you know, when you block stuff like that, don't be afraid to like pull out a nade. If he does another Rensen, you can. If he does like another Rensen, like a normal Rensen, he can actually catch you. Also, he has to do the up chain really early. You can't delay the up chain. So he has to commit to the up chain. So that's why instant air dashing can work if he keeps doing that. Also understand that you can instant block it. The chain. It is kind of easy to instant block. And it instant blocks all three. So doing that's not a bad idea. Because you can do it up to 2H. Or after something they do it commonly off, which like 2D or 5H, you know. Anyways. Burst. You're just gonna catch you with big damage. Too much jumping. It's gonna tech trap you. Does a Rensen. You should just plus there. Okay, he pulls out a DP, that's where it's scary. Try to Rensen there. He's catching you in the air. If he catches you trying to jump away from 6H, you're gonna be in a lot of block stun. He should have killed you there. Yeah, IAD jump best. You're not covering that. You're not helping the nade. When you chuck this nade, you should be going forward and like going forward with the nade because he can't deal with you in the nade. If you jump back and try to dash forward, he's not scared. Oh, big rocket. That's with punish. That was a good round. I think you could have done more without the rockets, but it's cool to see stuff like that. Should have anti-aired that and killed you. Or he's taken half life for a burst. You missed that combo a little bit. Now he's tech trapping you. You shouldn't be using Rensen to tech trap you. And you should need to be careful. Another thing you want to remember with Axel. Let's say Axel does this. What you want to do, instead of teching like that, teching up. On the right screen. Yep. Instead of teching up. Or forward. Because you can catch you if you go forward. Just neutral tech. Neutral, like, just neutral tech. You'll drop like a stone, you'll be on the ground, you'll be fast. You can't do that anymore. You can't tech trap you anymore. Then you can punish him. Good way to do it. See? So you can do stuff like that. You can also just not tech, and he can't tech trap you, but I guess to get something of that. So doing a neutral tech is good, because you can just, you know, do stuff like that. So neutral tech's quite good against Axel. Against a lot of characters, but Axel especially. So you keep teching up in the air, and he just keeps catching you over and over. But neutral tech would help you a lot. Yeah, throw. Good. Mashing. You should be confirming these 2H's a bit more, but you keep doing the same string over. And it's minus. Okay, burst. Pretty big. Yep. So you're kind of blocking that, but it's rough. Whoa, that was risky. He has much better anti-air tools to beat you here. Should be anti-air you. Okay. Yep. Catches that, that's big damage, that's gonna hurt. Could have actually done more damage off that, but... What was this? He tech trap you? So this is where a tech trap... This is where you'd want to tech... This is when you want a normal tech. Or forward tech or something. You could forward tech jump H, because you have invul from the forward tech, but doing a back tech will get you killed. A neutral tech is also quite good as well. In this situation as well. It's kind of okay, but... Yep, he's just instant blocking everything. He knows your string now. Now just FDing. Oh, we're underneath there. TP. Yeah, that's it. Alright. Yeah, so there's forward, there's 3 types of tech. There's forward tech, back tech, and neutral tech. Forward and back tech are the same. Actually no, I think one might have a little bit more involved than the other. Checking. Air tech, see this? Forward tech is 1 to 6-4, 7 to 17 strike, 1 to 6-4, 7 to 7 strike. So this one's a little bit less strike involved, but you're dropping like a stone. Wait, no. No, backwards is a little bit less strike. Still catchy, but forward has a lot more strike, and so is neutral. So neutral is just to get you down on the ground faster. Also, remember that you can really air tech. Like, look at this, like, so be the normal air tech time. But if I can really delay it. Look how late I did it. I can do it super late. Anyways, do you have any questions, Shrapnel? If not, I'll go on to Diesel. But if you do, then I can answer them. I don't know if you want me to re-explain a thing or two or not. I will be uploading this to YouTube as well, so... Okay. Are you here, Diesel? No worries, Shrapnel. Yeah, one step at a time. Okay, Diesel's here. I see it happen. First match with Cargo. Let's go. Do you win this 2-0? No, you lose this. Alright. Oh, you don't have a Twitch account. Oh, okay. Yep. Good. Waiting to see you there, Shrapnel. Do what's happened? I'm gonna reset my music because it's gonna go out. And that's just too boring. Alright. So round start, I don't know. I think Faust could have generally the better round start. I don't think about that too much because you can just avoid it in general. Alright. I'm gonna look at this real quick and I'm gonna like just look at some things that I'm gonna teach you. Alright. Oh, I will ask you, Diesel, do you have any questions? Or do you have any questions you want me to look at before I start? Like before I start giving my advice? I can look at those specifically. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go into the game and explain a couple of things. First and foremost.
Melia. Versus.
First and foremost,
Ready to rock.
I will say your best. Oh, there's so many players. There's like Nakamura, Washige. I think Range is really fucking fun to watch. I think Raven is really good and he's really good to watch. Like really fun to watch as well. Yeah, you could watch Lord Knight, but I don't think he really plays. Yeah, mostly Japanese ones. Japanese Milias, Nakamura, Washige, Ranger, all them. Anyways. So, first of all, I'll mention one thing. You didn't really use 5k much. And 5k is an insanely good button. Like, look, like you can just... Look at this. Like, using 5p, but 5p can whiff when they're crouching and shit like that. And 2p is okay, but 5k is just so much better.
Newbie.
Alright. So 5k is a very good... If you want to just start, if you want to like dash in and just make them block, 5k is a really good button. It's such a good hitbox. It's really fast. And if they do jump out, you can do stuff like that. Do that last part. Anyways, so 5k is a really good button because it can go to 2k. 2k is also a really good button because unfortunately you don't have much time to cancel into a throw. It's not very plus, so you can go like do that. Just do 2k in general. I think if you're gonna dash in 2k and 5k are a lot better. 2p is okay. 5p is a bit more of like an anti-air thing. Like a tech trap thing. Let's say you like... I'm gonna do something like this. Something like that. The thing is, 5k Kroyos do the same thing. Anyways, so there's that. Another good thing about 5k is, compared to most other buttons, it doesn't do this. It doesn't go into 6k. And 6k is really good. Just check Discord every so often. 6k is really good, because if you're on crouching, it links. See that? Into a knockdown. And that's like super good. So that's already like a confirm. And if you're in the corner, I mean, you can just do this. Stuff like that. Just a sec. Okay, really good. Another thing is, I noticed it just there, but there was a situation where you used your needle to get in, and you weren't able to pick up your needle, like you did this. You weren't able to pick up your needle, but you got the hit, and then you try to do this. The only problem is, with this, if you don't have your needle, you have to do that. Do that for a knockdown. Let you knock down. So if you do get a hit, then what you want to be doing is that. You want to be doing. You want to be getting the first hit of 5H, because the first hit of 5H is a 6-frame normal. You can't cancel the last hit. And you just be able to knock down like that. You can't do it at that range. I mean, it depends. Yeah. You can't do it at far S range. I mean, we can. Is it crashing? I don't know. These shouldn't work. So weird. But yeah, you want to be doing something like this. Just get knocked down. And you do that. Also, you want to try to practice dashing discs. So you have this type of disc, where you do like a dash and then you do this, or you could do this one, which is the input, the disc, and then you do a micro dash. And it goes a bit further. It goes a bit shorter. Other thing I can think of, I remember teaching someone this, where they can YSC the disc. This is a good pressure starter. Yep, something like that. Just of your movement, I guess. Yeah, jump H is a very good normal just for IIDing around. Because the first hit of 5H is really fast as well. Something like that. Really? Alright, so let's go back to the start. Let's try to look at this first point. You did round start, you're dashing in, you do close slash, that's fine. Remember, you could actually do much. So, in terms of your buttons, you don't have actually many, you don't have many normals that are like good for ending pressure, and like you have 2D, I guess. 2D is kind of safe, but you don't really get much of it. 2H is -2, just a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, so 2K, when you look at 2K or 2, like, I guess 2P is there, but 2K is a +1. 6H, I guess. 6K is plus. 5H is not that bad. Far S and all that. Close S. Yeah, there's stuff like that. Oh, thank you, follow, Riser. Some stuff that I've seen that's kind of cool. So most of the time you're going to be, when you're doing like a pressure string or a Gatling, you're going to be, you know, you want to do your throw. Unfortunately, most of your stuff, like, you're not able to, you know, frame trap off of that. You know, frame You could try to do something like this. Not gonna get much reward off it though, which is unfortunate. Do stuff like this though. So with our 2S, 2S is low, and you can do an IAD off it. So you could do stuff like this. Like that, be kind of cool. So 2S is good for just extending pressure. Same with 6H. Stuff like this. You know, you get some options like that. Like, she's a bit limited in how... I have no idea. But yeah, she does have a lot of stuff where she'll, you know, do stuff like this, and then she'll go for the overhead, or... You know, she'll go for an high. Then you can, you know, do a disc. And she get a high-low off that. Or maybe she wants to, go for a hair car. You could go for mix-ups like that. You know, stuff like that. Opportunities to just reset pressure. 2H, like I've mentioned, your 2S and your... the second hit of 6H is a high. Unfortunately, you can't do much off it. You have to special cancel it. But you could do stuff like this. And this is alright. Because you can like extend a string. You know, you got stuff like that. But in general, her pressure is very simple. Thing is, she does have good Oki off throw. As long as you do it correctly. She also combo off throw. I guess you could do something with that. Yeah, you can combo off throw. Yeah, but she's not... You should go ask on the Milo Discord, maybe... Because you can, like, you know, take these matches and show them in the Discord. So when I was learning chip, I did that. I like took my matches and I gave them to other players, and I asked them for advice when I was learning chip, and they gave me advice there. So don't make me be the be all end all. But yeah, so there'll be simple things like 2K and 5K are very good normals. First of all, 2S is low and you can jump cancel. 6H is also pretty good. 5H is a very good normal because it's very fast. So using this using defensively as a throw OS is pretty good because if you don't get the throw, you get a very fast 5H. You have your high-low, like you can do this. Let's get you a knockdown. Let's get you a knockdown. Probably not that. You have to do something like that. That could work. Something like that. But yeah, so you could definitely do stuff like that. In general, a lot of what mid is going to be about is just going to be about moving around. She wants to, you know, get in. There'll be a lot of tricky stuff, by the way, where, you know, you'll be trying to get in with pin. Oops. You get knocked down like that. Or you want to extend pressure. So you'll do stuff like this. And if they block all that, you know, you can do your combo, but you'll be picking up pin during that pressure. During this stuff, you can, you know, do stuff like this. Get stuff like that. Just going like this. Pick up a pin. Anyways. Go back to the matches, try to explain some things more in depth. Alright. That was good. You got knocked down. You probably won't get a disc Oki off this. Oh no, maybe you will. It'd be a late one, maybe. Let's see if you can. Risky. I think maybe you could jab out. So maybe a simple thing would be like, you know. Something just to make him block. So you're really close. He could have thrown you right here. Reversal thrown you super easily. And all you did was a close slash. So from there, like I've mentioned before, you could do a bunch of these and then go for a throw. You could 6k, or you could, you know, can you jump cancel 2k? No. Do that. You could do that. Or you could, do that. And I'll get you a knockdown. Stuff like that. Could also maybe experiment with something like this. I mean, Forte is our resident Amelia, so you can ask him for advice, and also the Amelia Discord. But yeah. 2k! Wait, I'm gonna just say, I haven't forgotten any normals, have I? Everything important. Turbo Fall is kind of useful, I guess, in some situations. That's not really important. Silent Force. Secret Garden's a special. It's if you want to know how to use Secret Garden, you have to be in a situation like this, where you get a knockdown and then you do this. Something like that, and then it just keeps going. Thing is, Secret Garden doesn't go away. So what you do is you something like that. Just covers completely, and you get a lot of stuff going. I don't remember the combo. It's recording. Sick. So I'm back. I am expecting food, so eventually that will come, but I'm gonna see if I'm pretty sure I can get this. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. They could try to hit you out, but you know the disc's just going to hit them and you can just combo it. And it just locks them down. So there's stuff like that. They can't get out. Yeah, that's a small trick you might know in the future. That's kind of cool. Alright. So mentioned it a couple times, but yeah. Try to do your stuff, because this could have gone. First of all, it should have been a 5k. It could have gone to 2k. It could have also gone from 5k to 6k. You could have gone 2s into the overhead. So there's lots of stuff you could have done there. Knockdown, you're really close here. You need to do a micro dash, which is inputting the secret. You need to input the disc and then do a dash. Just as it's like you do a 2 3 6 6 is the input. 2 3 6 6, and then you do the H. So as you're starting the dash, you immediately do disc, so you don't go as far. Something like that would have been better. And you caught there. Unfortunately, you came down with a button. So there's two. I think you need to understand there's two types of discs. There's a meaty disc and a non-meaty disc. So this is a meaty disc. It's going to hit them as soon as it lands. And there's a non-meaty disc. See that? So there's two types of mix-ups you can get depending on the disc you land. And there's advantages as well. So with a meaty disc, you're safe. Like you can do a high-low sometimes. Do low. You can do a high. Or you can just do nothing and they can, they can't jump out or anything. If you do a non-meaty disc, they can jump out, but you get two mix-ups. For example, so they block all that. That's a non-meaty disc. It'll happen like it could depend on the combo as well. But the thing is, with the non-meaty disc, you can get 2 mix-ups. Like that. So you can do an empty low, then you can do another one. Or sometimes you'll have time to do a 6k, then the disc will hit. So and then you have time to still do stuff afterwards. They don't have so the second mix-up won't have the disc hit, and they could have jumped out at any time, but you'll be able to get 2 mix-ups. So the way you alleviate them trying to jump out is you do an immediate low with the 2S. And if they try to jump out, the 2S will hit them, and then the disc will hit them afterwards. So that'll keep them from jumping out as a good 2S. Stuff like that. But yeah, there are definitely 2 types of discs. There's a meaty one and a non-meaty one. So what happened here is you did a non-meaty disc. So when you got hit, you hit a jump H here. Oh, is this meaty? No, this is definitely not meaty. So he just chills here, he presses a button, the disc hits him. You didn't really do a mix-up off this. Generally what you want to do is you want to like do a high-low. Actually no, it depends, because if you do a mini disc, you can do a high-low a lot easier. You gotta look up the mixes, but generally, like, I'm getting confused on the mixes again. But yeah, basically what happened here is you press the button and you didn't convert off it, because you try to do like you try to do like an empty falling meaty thing, but you didn't really need to. You could have just pressed like a high low simply, or you could have done like an IAD. But what you did here was you did that, and then you did a too high of a jump. And you came down with a button. You should have gone like for a high low here, like a simple IAD or this. I don't know. Like a low, or a low like that. Something like that. Something like that, yeah. There's like so many things you could have done, but just check to see your mix-ups and what you're gonna get off certain meaty versus non-meaty discs. Those are kind of important because it lets you know what types of mix-ups you can do where. Anyways, so you mess up the mix-up, you teched out, and you mess up the combos. He just came down on the jump 2k and he just kills you. So he actually should have been able to combo off that with like a 5p into something else, but you try to mash there when he hits you with that. So if he hits you with that low, he's really plus. That drill kick thing is really, really plus, unless he hits you at the top of the head. But he hit you decently low enough that he's actually quite plus. So he got a 2H on your counter hit you. And he did that and he just destroyed you there. Great chocolate bar. I don't know if that's a meaty save jump. I don't think it was then. It's good. Yeah. So you jump back and then you did an IAD forward pin and a hit. You need to land. What you need to do here was you need to land, do 5H or close slash. I think 5H would be better. Let's just look at the old normals. See, close slash is 7 frame startup, but 5H is 6. And 5H is what you want to do to go into 2D. So doing a 5H to 2D is a lot better. There. So you could have done that into a knockdown. And the reason you want to do that is because you don't have pin here, and you don't really have resources to get a full knockdown. Also, you're really far away from the pin, which you don't have now, which is really bad. You need that pin. Pin's really important. So you kind of chase him down, you do a 2D and it gets blocked, and then you go into a dangerous H disc. If you want to really be safe after a normal disc, after a 2D, first of all 2D is -1, so it's pretty safe. Second of all, if you really wanted to be safe after that and maybe frame trap or something, you could have done the S disc. S disc is not bad. Yeah. So here, the only thing you can do here, because you can't really set up an H disc, you can do this tricky thing here what you're doing, or you could just do a normal meaty 5K or a 2K, just something simple, or you could do an S disc to get a full-on meaty, and then if they try to mash or they try to do anything, then, you know, they get hit, and then from there you can go into 6K or 2K or, you know, lots of pressure in the S disc. But you put yourself in the corner and you have no pin here. You shouldn't have bursted that, because that's minus. You need, first of all, you need to RC that, because that's minus. He could have punished you there. That is -10. No, -11. So you can definitely punish you for that. So you should, if you do RC, if you do that, you need to RC it to keep yourself safe and continue pressure. Jump away, jump K. If you do a jump like this, like an IAD forward, unless you're going to do, if you're doing something like this, you should always be using jump H. If you're doing a mix-up, like from the front where you don't go over the top, then a jump K, jump S is fine. But a jump H should always be done here, especially this low to the ground. When just this low to the ground, a jump H always, because there's so much hits done. Then you kind of autopilot in 2D. If you just blocked that, he would have just mashed you out as soon as you use the H disc, so it's got to be careful with that. You'd be going into a better string here. But so if you hit jump H here, you would have just gone 5H 2D, and you've gotten your knockdown and you've gotten stuff done. If he blocks this, you could have done like 5K or 2K instead and done more pressure. You could have gone for like a 2K into a throw or something, but yeah. But it's just a lot of stuff where you're just missing your confirms, or you're just not doing the right confirms, or you're trying to autopilot to certain confirms. That's a good anti-air. In general, Faust is really hard to anti-air, but I don't think Cargo's doing the right anti-airs here. Jump ins here, so you're getting lucky. This should be punish. Okay, you do a 2D, 2H. So in this situation where it's a counter hit, what you should be trying to do, I think this works. I'll just double check. Stop blocking. What is this? No, I think you just gotta. I think you just gotta do it. I thought you could land. You can't land. Yeah, just go. Always fine. Well, you could have done more damage, but you can't. Oh well. So you did 2H there. First of all, so you kind of messed it up because you didn't do a jump S. You did 2H. You should have been jump S instead of jump D, and you would have gone combo. Then you do a jump H here. If you really want to confirm from there, you could have done jump. You could have done after the jump H. You could have done close S 2H, like both hits of close S into 2H. You could have extended pressure to there, or you could have done like 5K close S 2H, one hit of close S. Then you mess up the combo again. They caught him low, trying to walk away. You have a lot of meter as well, so anytime you're like doing, every time you're in 5H and you want to continue pressure, you can just do the roll into the digitalis, which is the big poke, the big hair poke, and then RC that and continue pressure, and it's good. It's good reward on count hit. Or just say hit. Digitalis could just get a combo after that. Jump forward. See, this is where he's getting a read on you. So what you would do here is you do a jump back air dash forward pin. Doing something like this. now can't hit him every time he tries to anti-hit you. Or you do something like that. Like for Milia, her ground movement is really good. So you can dance around the air and do stuff like this. But she can also just land and then dash in really fucking fast. Like she just immediately get in like this. So generally she doesn't have two, as long as she has a pin, she can get in quite easily. And she can get on the ground, she can get in through the ground or in the air quite easily. Because of her dash speed is just so fast and she can go into like... Yeah. Like she can just, this is why 5k is so good, because she can just be like, I'm in. Look at the range of this. Range is so large. Be like, I mean, Chica's also pretty good as well. Stuff like that. So here, this is where first of all you get caught by that. It's fine. When he does this, what you can immediately do, especially when he throws his item, as soon as he throws his item, you just immediately dash in. Dash in 6p. Like, get in there. As soon as he, like, when I was talking to Shrapnel about normals, like when someone whiffs a normal, you go in. Well, for very fast characters like Chip, Milia, and Jam, it's double true. It's like extremely true. You just go in. You just zoom in on the ground. Not even through the air. You just run in on the ground really quickly. So whenever he whiffs that and he throws an item, you just dash in and you take your turn. Like it's your turn immediately. You just go into blocks and you're probably not going to be able to punish, but you'll definitely be able to take your turn. Because if he presses a button, he'll get counter hit. Yeah. So that should have been, so as soon as this happened, throws item, you should have reacted as soon as he got off the poker as well. Should be in it. You should be like here. Can you see that? Can you see my mouse? I don't know if you can see the mouse. Would you be around here? Where my thing is. By the time he's already down. And by the time he's able to press a button, you would have pressed the normal that would have slid into position and like hit him. Okay, that's fine. He whiffs that. I think you. Okay, so you are trying to jump around a bit. You need to be careful because you can hit you with a long range 2H here. You should try to anti-air this with 6B or 2H. If he tries to do normal jump-ins like this, like he doesn't really have the best jump-in pressure, he needs to use drill. He needs to do a dashing jump drill and just FTC to make himself a bit hard to hit. You really got to stop auto-applying to these 2Ds into the the discs. Like you can do 2D afterwards and you can continue pressure afterwards, but yeah. And you can press jump H there. Like jump H is generally your go-to button with jump-ins, like an air dash like that, because it's so good. But yeah, that's gonna count if that hits. If you do a jump D, you should expect it to hit. That's why jump H is better. But if you do a jump D, you should expect that to hit. I think other normals like jump P, jump K. Okay, just a sec. Yeah, that's why I like jump H. I don't want to. If you use jump D, like most jump Ds are going to cause situations like that. Like if you use a jump D, you should expect for it to hit, and you should be ready for it to. You should give it a second and get ready for the combo afterwards, because it's going to launch. What happened here? Yes, that caught. And then you do the disc, which is, you know, I don't know if that's a misinput or something, but you just did that. And he just came down the button, and now you're blocking. And he goes for a throw. Which is kind of weird. Because I think he should have been able to throw that instead. This should be a punish. That should be a close slash 2H punish. Or just a 2H punish. This is definitely a close slash 2H punish. Like a dashing close slash 2H punish. Sorry. Alright. Yeah, so that was a definite punish opportunity. You can do a 6H there, which is fine because it's not that minus. Like it's not that punishable. Then you do a dash. Okay, I don't like the fact that you didn't take anything off that. So you got the knockdown, which is fine. But you need to dash in and do like some sort of midi. Like you shouldn't be afraid of anything here. Like you kind of jump back and then dash forward, and you're doing stuff here. Then you don't take your turn. You should definitely be able to do like a 2K or a 5K or something to take your turn there. Alright, then you catch there. That close slash, that far S should have gone to 5H 2D. There should be a knockdown there. Very good convert off that. Got hit by a hammer. Oof. That's probably a 5P you did there. That's why you would have got a 6K instead. That's why just pressing 5K is pretty good there. Or 2P or 2K would have been better there. If you press 5K here or 2K here would have been good. Anyways, you did this. Got the knockdown, you got the disc, so it wasn't a correct knockdown. It was because you got a random 2D and you just did it into a disc, which is bad. You got the disc. You didn't really do any mix-ups. Like you could have done like a 6K here while the disc is hitting, or a 2S or something. So the disc is already gone, you did a 2H instead, and it's like you need a mix-up here. You kind of expect it to hit. Yeah, try not to cancel. Canceling the disc is not the go-to thing. Try never to cancel the disc unless it's S disc to keep yourself safe from something. Gonna burst out, 100-ton weight. Just gonna chill. Do that, it's gonna stop you. Do it. Could have done a bit more of that. Oof. Do you whiff a jump H there? Yeah, if you did jump H there, you would have had your turn. Like jump H would have put in a block stun, you would have been able to 5K, 2K and do all your stuff there. You're going for a throw or something, you know? Oh, and yeah, you just 6 speed. You have a disc here, you have a pin here, so you could have just done like a jump back pin. That's another technique you can do with pin, is this. You can do something like this. Alright, trying to show this. Basically, you can do this. You can do this with H pin. With S pin, you can do this at the top and then come down with that, or you can do this. And that's airtight. That's pretty airtight. Do stuff like that. But yeah, definitely trying to use pin to cover yourself to get in is a good thing. Because it lets you start your pressure. It's like, yeah, like I'm seeing like a lot of, I'm seeing sometimes you're getting in, sometimes you're not getting in properly, but sometimes you do get in, sometimes you don't use the right jump in button. And then when you use the right jump in button, you don't really continue pressure. properly. You just do like close slash into fire H. You always go into you constantly do 2D into H disc. Don't do that. 2K and 5K are so much better. 2K is like your best restarting normal, in my opinion. Thank you for the follow, Red X Original. Then you'll have stuff like what's the name? You can do stuff like 2S and 6H. You can jump cancel and air dash those back in. You can also jump cancel them to use a pin to get back in as well, because you want to pick up the pin during some pressure and you'll be able to continue pressure like that. 6K is very good because 6K is plus and you can do it into S disc. So you can constantly just keep doing 6K from 5K. So a lot of stuff there. And then when you do get a hit, unless if you have a pin, then you can try to go into like close slash 2H. But if you don't have pin, you should try to go like 5H 2D. Then set down an H disc and then go get the pin or something wherever it is. Like a very common situation will be where you're like, you'll do something like this. Then you do a media low or something, and you pick up the pin while you're doing this. That's why they do this, because it picks up the pin. Or they'll do a pin. They'll do this. They'll do something where, say you got the pin here. They'll do this on the pin. Whoops. That's what I want. This is the pin. And I'll go pick up the pin. They'll dash back, pick up the pin, and then you'll be blocking a meaty disc, and they can do a mix-up after that. You know? Like imagine the pin's there. Like, okay, so this is a meaty disc. Dash back, pick up pin. They're blocking, and now I can, now I can do this. Or I can do that. Dash back. So that, dash back, pick up a pin. Do an IAD and a second IAD, stuff like that. So they're stuck doing a meaty, and they're stuck doing the meaty disc, and they can't really do much. You just chase them down, stuff like that. That's a good anti-air. 5 jump P and jump K are pretty good anti-airs. You probably could have jump cancelled that though. Yeah, from there you probably could have done something like this. Try to get your conversions down as well. Something like that. There you go, something like that. A bit messy, but yeah, maybe something like that. You never know. Something simple. Get a knockdown, get this game started. So stuff like that would be quite good. Open here. You do a 6K into the car, which is fine. I think at that range, because you didn't do a dash up here, you should have done 6K into the S disc, and that would have caused a knockdown for you to do stuff off. But the card's fine. Then I think maybe try to do an H disc here, but you messed up. But you should have definitely. I don't think you would have gotten a knockdown of the car. Like you wouldn't have gotten a good enough knockdown off the card to do an H disc. So this should just be like a meaty normal or a jump in or something, an air dash, a meaty air dash H. Yep. Remember that you got to go into 5H to get a knockdown. So it's unfortunate there. That's 2H. Just a sec. Sorry about that. Okay. Alright. Grab him now. See it? HTC is going to punish you. Big damage. It's meaty. Or was not really a meaty. You could do a bit better off that. Jump back. Block the 6H. You should definitely be trying to do something. So you do. This is a bit better. Now you try and chase him down. Go in the corner. Do a 6H. It's fine. Yeah, he's going to punish you. He knows now every time. He's not. He didn't react fast enough, but he should have definitely punished you with like a 2H or a 2D or something, or easy knockdown. Caught you with a low, which is kind of weird. And he caught you. He's catching you mashing. I think you just need to block some of this. Just blocking and just FDing him out is a very valid strat. Then yeah, super. They're up in the air. He just catches you low. Like you just need. Sometimes you just need to chill and then block with FD and just wait for an opportunity to happen. Or you can jump back and use FD, but not during a meaty. If it's a meaty, they're gonna jump you out. They're gonna hit you as you try to jump out. So you just always try to block the first hit, unless you're gonna backdash. Melee backdash is pretty good. But just chill a bit, FD a bit, you know. So it's pretty good. That's a good punch. The unfortunate thing with Fire Ice is you don't actually get much off it, unless they're crouching and you can go 5H into Digitalis. So this hair card doesn't really get much, and it can actually be punished. So you gotta be careful. Yeah, 5P won't go into 2D. So this jump S you need to go into jump H, and then you would have gone 5H 2D, and that would have been your knockdown. Or you gotta go into 5K, 2K, and then continued pressure there. Yeah, you gotta kind of be careful there because of the mini Faust. It's gonna make you block. Got pin, it's good. That's just a knockdown. You got the chocolate bar. You don't have to crouch down to get the chocolate bar. I think you try to crouch down to get the chocolate bar, but you just need to run over it. Oh. Right, so you should have just came down. You should just, instead of doing a jump K there, you should have just waited until you were falling and then did a jump H. And you would have gone block stun there, and then you would have been able to go in and do stuff. So you did car, and then that needed to be a 2H. That needed to be a close slash 2H punish. So you're doing hits over and over. So that's the thing, you gotta kind of confirm these. So that count hit should have been a. What's up, Red X original? I don't know. You want me to like? I don't know what you want. Well, actually. So yeah. So this should have been like a close 5H 2D knockdown, so you can get your pin. Or you could have done a dashing 2S 2H to pick up your pin. Because I'm pretty sure you can pick up normals after a counter hit like that, and then you can do like a big combo after that if you get a counter hit. Something like this. You don't pick up pin while you... No, okay, that sucks. What if you use pin like this? I'm gonna get a combo. It's just something simple like this. Oops. That's what happened now. Yep. Let's go to the top. You need a push 2P, 2D. Just ended pressure already, which is not good. You have so much meter, so you can't continue. All of this you can like extend pressure very easily. Also, you can continue to do pressure by using S disc. YRC. But yeah, all of this can just go into Digitalis, say, Red Ram and cancel. Thank you. Zabik. Fuck. Hey man. Hello. Sure. That was just unfortunate. So that's an okay anti-air situation there. I mean, 2H 6B or would have been a little bit better, but what can you do? He bursted there, which is really good for you. Good air tear there. It's good because you can jump cancel that, you can keep him blocked down, and you can land, stuff like that. You didn't commit to any heavy normals. Also, you can do stuff like turbo fall from normals if you're ever stuck in situations like this. So... Giganto fall. Stuff like that. Oof. Alright, so this is a good interrupt here. Interrupted him pressing immediate because he should have cancelled it, the fire and meteors, but he just was able to get the meteors out though. Meteors out, so he's covering himself. That was kind of good way him. He covered himself. He did a 5D. You should be doing. I think you need to do jump D twice, then jump S into an. No. You need to jump D 3 times, then to an IAD jump S jump H pin for a knockdown. Go quite low. Pick up chocolate bar, nice anti-air. You need to do jump D there instead. We could also do this. Let's count it on. Yeah, you probably could like trap him and then just stuff like that. I don't know. Thought there was something there, but I don't think there is anything there. That situation. Yeah. I think you just need to do jump S there. Jump S, jump D into an IAD afterwards. That's good. It would have been better if you probably should have jump cancelled the jump S there. So here. Which I don't think you can do jump S. No, you can. Okay. Well, some stuff you can do there. Off jump S instead of cancelling it a 2H there. Because sometimes they're too high. So just doing a jump S is fine. I mean, close S. Jeez, you're too close here. You can throw you. Yep. You could also tech that. You could have tech this jump S. You could have easily tech this and came forward on you. So what you would do is maybe like a throw tech trap or a 6P maybe. It's risky. Dead angle. Caught you low. Like you gotta be careful. He's pressing too many buttons. And wake up. Meteors are gonna come. Yep. Gotta be aware of that. Meteors are gonna come down. He threw a meteor. Basically, you gotta get behind him or something so the meteors don't, you know, hit you. Come back. Nice. Would have been better if you, like I mentioned before, after this, like a 5H2D maybe would have worked there. I don't know if there's enough hits on the 5k there. I mean the jump K. Oh, you're just getting chonked so much now. Doing a jump forward there, you get caught by jump S. Milia's okay at jumping around, but she kind of, I don't know. She's getting hit by constant things trying to get in. You could be doing like early pins and then instant air dashing after them. Or just air dashing after them. That was okay. Okay, now you've wasted your pin though. You got your pin back, that's fine. But you're getting it by hammer and it's just, yeah, headbutt overhead. It's just an unfortunate thing with neutral. Like he's just pressing normals and you're just getting hit by them. And whenever you do manage to get in, you're not really doing much with your pressure. By that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much more I can say about that. Do you have anything you want me to cover after I've some stuff said? There's some like stuff that's not clear or that you want me to explain a bit better? Because I feel like, unfortunately, you had a few. Your games are a bit short, and I think you only had one game I recorded. So I think if I watch you play this coming Friday, I'll be able to see a more common thing that I can help explain. Few other Diesel, I'm not sure. Diesel might not be there, but yeah. Nope. I don't know if Diesel's there, if he has any questions or not. I'll have to answer at a later date. Unfortunately, I'm reaching a 3-hour mark when I said I was going to do a 2-hour video. And I've got stuff to do, like eat and do something else. So I think that's unfortunately going to be a short. I'm going to cut it there, even though some people have just joined up. No, Diesel. No, feel free to ask questions now, because I think I can explain them better with like visuals and shit. Like if you have any questions right now that I can actually show and explain, be better. You'd probably get more out of it than later on when you just get told random things and you aren't able to explain stuff. So as visually. Yeah, when you don't have pin, if you really want damage, if you don't have the pin, like maybe you're in the corner or something. How do I put this? Yeah. So if you're mid-screen and you do something with the pin, you're going to be too far from the pin. That's the problem. If I do this, let's say I do this. I'm really far from the pin now. Like it'd be even worse like if I'm over here. So you're too far away from the pin. The second thing is, if you don't have pin and you do this, you'd have to do this combo. Not that. For a knockdown. So when the situations where I'd say you can do that without pin is if you, let's say you get a knockdown here. But that's fine. I think that's perfectly fine. If you have meter to spare, if you have 50 meter and you've used the pin to get in and you want some damage, you want to get a better knockdown, then that's fine. But in general, if you've used the pin to get in and you're not able to pick up pin, like there are ways to pick up pin, I guess. Like, just say you do this, do stuff like this. It's like a crouching confirm thing. I don't think he could. Nah. You have to be crouching. If you manage to roll and then do that, you'll be able to pick up pin. So that's the only time where I could recommend a combo when you wouldn't have pin before. You do something like this. Something like that. But yeah, so if you don't have the pin, try to do a ground-based string for a knockdown to 2D. If you do have the pin, then you can get an easy knockdown and repeat it. Unless you're in the corner, where you probably are going to keep the pin, like you have 50 meter to spare, you want the damage, you want the knockdown, stuff like that, then sure, you can do that. You can also be tricky. You can also be tricky if you don't have the pin. You do this. In tech trap. Throw. What they would do though is they just wouldn't tech. and then you just get no knock. You didn't get a proper knockdown. Yeah, something like that. Yes, they're very good. Alright. Depends on what you want, honestly. Because some of the characters can be a bit more difficult.
Enter the mayhem.
So, if you want good pokes and zoning, it depends on what you want. Some are like better at different things. So like if you want to talk pokes and good neutral, like Raven is good pokes, Kai, Elfeld is good pokes, very good pokes, Sin are very good pokes. Venom, Answer to an extent, Axel, Faust, all of them, but they do it kind of differently. So the way Faust does it is he has really good pokes that go into items, and he can kind of mess around the air, but he has really good pokes and really good ways to go around stuff with neutral. His damage isn't that high, but he's just got a lot of tricks and he has a lot of ways of controlling neutral. And he's got pretty good Oki. And he has really good uses of meter. So Venom and Faust are sort of similar in a sense. Like they have good pokes. They have stuff that they can fill the screen with, like Venom being balls and Faust being items. I would say Faust is a lot trickier in the air, while Venom is a little bit better at controlling screen. They both have really good anti-airs and really good ground tools, really good pokes. The other thing is that Faust is really good. Faust is good Oki, like good mix-ups on Oki, and Venom also has a really good mix-up on Oki. Their damage is not that high, but they're really good. They're pokes on Oki. If I had to talk difficulty, I'd say Faust is pretty easy, and Venom is medium-ish. Medium to slightly difficult. I say he's like medium-ish at the beginning, and then he gets kind of difficult when you like want to really go with him, because he's got a lot of depth to him. There's a lot of setups. But you can pretty much get away with like a simple game plan. So this. Stuff like that. Well, it should work, but But yeah. If you want good zoning neutral, it's like Faust and Venom are good zoning. Here's the thing. I think the only true character that is good at good zoning is that can kill you from zoning is Axel. Like the way that Faust and Venom want to work is Faust a bit more wants to like poke you to death, and you'll go in and do mix-ups and you do extra damage with that. But Venom wants to fill the screen, take control, keep you locked down, and then go into lots more Oki. So I don't know how that would work. Like they're both pretty good. And Faust is very easy. Venom is a bit more difficult than like most characters. I put him near the middle at the beginning, and then I put him a lot higher as you get better with him because he's got like almost the most depth with him. To the point where I would say this character hasn't been fully figured out yet. His potential is almost unlimited in terms like no one's tapped into his full potential yet. Like I've seen some crazy shit that like makes his mix-up so much scarier. He's also got like cool stuff like this. You can just... But yeah, if you want a really deep like he's good tools for poking. Like 6P so good, Iris is good, 2S is a god, 2D's okay. Yeah, so I'd say Venom is good pokes. Faust is better pokes in my opinion, like slightly better. But Venom is a lot better at controlling the screen when he has his projectile set up, because you just set them up and you know he'll go in. So I hope that's answered your question on that. Do you have any more questions, Diesel? Alright then, OG. I'm pretty sure you could get more advice. Okay, yeah. She is similar to Venom, where I don't know what it depends on what you want out of Dizzy. Dizzy's good at the way Dizzy works. She's got okay pokes, and she's got good ways of controlling the screen. But the way she kind of works is she runs away a lot. Wait, I'll show you. Dizzy's really good at running away and setting up like an obstacle course.
Dizzy versus Soul.
So she's really fast. She has good. She's really squishy though. She dizzes really quickly, ironically. She's really fast. She has a lot of mix-ups. Her pokes are pretty good. This is a nightmare. This thing. You can see it. Good damage, so you can just immediately start pressure whenever you want. But yeah, she's going to be doing a lot of this where she sets up like projectiles, she'll set up stuff, you know, fireballs, stuff like this. She's good damage. She can do stuff like this. She's good damage, and she's also a cool, vulnerable thing. Oh, she has some loops where she does this over and over. But yeah, she's a very strong character in my opinion. She's pretty strong. She's got really good pressure because she's got, you know. She's got a lot of good stuff. She's got a lot of good normals. Control the space. She just makes an army, and then she has really good Oki off the army, stuff like that. Honestly, if you wanted to, if I had to teach, if you wanted any character, I would recommend you could play any character. It depends on what you want from them though. If you tell me what you want from the character, I can tell you if that character can do it or not, and how well they'll do it. The only characters that I would tell you to be a bit more careful with is Chip, Zato, and Johnny. Those three characters, I'll be like, okay, you're gonna have to understand that it's gonna be a lot harder. You're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to sweat a bit before you get somewhere with them. Because I don't know, like they all have really high execution. Well, Zato and Chip die really quickly. And they all generally, I feel like Chip and Zato play the game a bit differently than most other characters. And then Johnny's just really high execution, and he's also a bit weird in the way he plays it. Like, it's not easy to understand. Because you need coins, you need to understand how to get coins, which requires a lot of combos. And just knowing how to play neutral. The first bit of neutral properly. But yeah. So if you, I don't know, if you tell me what you want from Dizzy, I can, or any of the other characters, like... Apart from that, all I can recommend you is to watch how they play. If you like how they play, if you like what they do, then, you know, ask, what's his name? Go look up some resources, watch some top players with them, and go learn them. Yeah. Dizzy's like a, yeah. So if Milia is the aggressive character with a double air dash, then Dizzy's the more runaway character. Like, she can kind of get in, but she can't, her normals are slower, and she has to bulldog a bit more with like Ice Spike and Summons. She's not the best at bulldogging compared to Milia. Milia can go in a lot more with Pin. She's really fast on the ground. Her jump H is your jump H is very good as well. Like, this jump H is super good. Super good normal. Surprisingly. Anyways, I think I will take my leave because I need to eat. So GG guys.